morning, you guys. Welcome back to the pig room. It is very early in the morning right now, as you can tell by the way that I look, but I am currently getting ready to go ahead and take Billy and Jojo to the vet. If you guys miss kind of all my updates on Instagram, you would know that I found Billy to have some crackly breathing the other day, which typically is a sign of a URI, and having had a history of URIs in the pig room, I want to get this checked out as soon as possible. And then the morning after I discovered Billy, I also noticed that Jojo was sneezing that morning, so I want to get him checked out as well. All the other piggies are safe, which is good, but we're gonna go ahead and get our two babies checked out. Hopefully Jojo is totally fine and it was just like a random little sneeze, but I think that Billy may potentially have an upper respiratory infection or something of the sorts. It's so important to go ahead and get your pig to the vet if they're showing any signs of illness, because it can honestly get really bad in the course of like 24 hours and sometimes even cost them their life. So it's super important when it involves anything to make sure you get them to the vet literally as soon as possible. So that's exactly what we're doing. I called my vet the morning after I discovered that for Billy, and got an appointment scheduled for the next day, and today's the next day and we're doing it. This is not like a traditional appointment where I go there, talk with the doctor, she checks them out. This is actually going to be a drop-off, so in between her surgeries, my vet surgeries, she's going to check them out. So I'm not going to be there while she's physically checking them out, but she will give me a call and let me know what came back and what she found. But let's get going to building their carriers. I actually got this carrier at the thrift store for I think like $5.99. I got this exact one before, like a couple of months ago, and Andy ended up bringing it to New York for his sister's dog. Forgot to bring it back. Currently trying to get that back. But I was at the thrift store a couple weeks ago and literally saw the exact same one, and I love it so much. This one is actually in better condition than the one I got the first time. So super spacious and big. I only have one of them, so the other pig is gonna have to go in those smaller ones. But I'm gonna put Jojo in this one because he's one chunky boy. Also a really great item to have in your carrier. So if you guys, are doing vet visits, these are so simple just to kind of put in your carriers as a little cushion. So I'm just gonna slide that in just like so, and it fits literally like perfect, and it goes up the sides as well to kind of hold in the hay, but beautiful. And then here is Billy's carrier right here, not as bougie and pristine as that one. I like that one because it's hard, like it feels more protective. This one's fine. The vet's literally like 5 minutes away, so it's not a long drive. Just stick this right in here. This might be a little big for this carrier, so it might be a little bit of a tight squeeze. Do I want to use this? All right, so I just folded it nice and neat in there, so that's all ready to go. Just gotta get some hay. We have secured the hay. Oh my god, I totally forgot to mention, I was on Instagram live last night and I was about to start Billy's nebulizer treatment, and his breathing was like fine. When I found his breathing to be weird, I checked him out and like it was so prominent to like hear his crackly breathing, and you could tell something was going on. Picked him up, listened to him, everything was gone. So it's just a weird thing that happened. I mean, it's happened to me before. I will say that with Wanda. I don't know. We're still getting him checked out. Maybe there's something going on. Maybe there's not. Yeah, we'll see. But like, honestly, that's so weird that like he would have symptoms of a URI and then it would just disappear. Can't explain. Alrighty, here is Mr. Billy Boy. Are you ready for the vet, buddy? So we're just going to go ahead and plop him right in there. There he goes. I'll tell you guys, Jojo is the chunkiest boy ever. He is massive. Here's Mr. Jojo, my little chunk man. Again, he was doing a little bit of sneezing. Nothing like super crazy to be concerned about. But again, just want to make sure he's healthy, and he's also long overdue for a nice health check with the vet, so we'll get him checked out too. So, he's so cute, I love him. Let's go ahead and put him in his little carrier right here. Chunky boy is in. I don't think he's ever actually been in a carrier since the day that I rescued him, which is crazy. That is how I prep and bring my piggies to the vet. We'll get them oh my god, he's so cute. We'll get them checked out and be on our way to the vet.
I know it's nothing new, but it's so good to see you.
So I'm now back home, and the vet actually ended up just calling me. They have been there for literally less than an hour. She ended up checking out both of them before her surgery, so everything was just taken care of right away, which is really awesome. I can actually get my day started sooner than I thought. Excuse if you can hear Mikey munching in the back right there. He's just having his breakfast. But everything came back totally normal. There's no concerns whatsoever from my vet about their health, which is really, really great. Sometimes pigs just go through like these weird things or these weird happenings where they'll like show signs of being sick, but everything's like completely fine. It's the weirdest thing ever, and honestly it's almost more annoying that, I'm not saying I would want it to have anything, but it's just more frustrating that like something did happen, but they're totally, it's just confusing. I don't like it, but regardless of the point, my babies are happy, safe, and healthy, so that's all that matters. She did say she wanted to go ahead and put both of them on one antibiotic just to be sure in case she missed anything, so they're going to be getting that, and then Billy's going to get the nebulizer treatment for about 2 weeks just to be sure. I'm thinking that maybe Jojo, for Jojo's case, that you know, the hay was just super dusty, which kind of caused him to sneeze because he does like to burrow in it a little bit. So that could explain that. Billy, I'm not positive on, but I have the same issue with Wanda. She'll have like really crackly breathing and the next day it's fine. I don't know, but everyone is good. So I'm really happy to know that. But again, we are taking precautionary measure and putting them on medicine. So let's go ahead and pick them up. So while I'm on my way to the vet, I just wanted to quickly talk with you guys about honestly the reality of owning guinea pigs and everything that's like entailed with owning them, specifically when it comes to like vet visits and the expenses that come with these animals. Now, obviously they are deemed as a beginner pet, even though there's no such thing, but pet stores have taken it upon themselves to consider them to be beginner pets for the purpose of obviously sales, for them to get money, and they're not a children's pet. They definitely are not. They can be if the parents are willing to help out with expenses and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, I will always advocate for these animals to be in the care of adults. And I'm talking people who are, you know, above 18. At that point, you know, a person that is of that age would have a job, steady income, or income of any sorts to go ahead and pay for everything they need to take care of these animals, but also be prepared for vet visits. And I feel like that's the one thing that people tend to forget when it comes to owning these animals, is that they're not always going to be healthy. It's inevitable for you to run into issues with guinea pigs, especially when having, you know, so many. It's almost impossible to own these animals, and for when they do pass, it's just like a sudden thing. It doesn't really happen. I'm gonna just lift this up so it's not super shaky, but it doesn't really happen. Like, the guinea pigs will typically show signs of a sickness before they do pass. So yeah, it's always important to be prepared for those situations, because obviously you need to have the funds, obviously you need to have the means of actually taking care of them and being present to give them medicine and stuff like that. And I just feel like it's really important to keep in the back of your mind that if you are wanting to get a guinea pig or you're wanting to get more, are those expenses something that you can handle as they come on? Because you never know, you could be stuck with a guinea pig that has really bad genetics and is, you know, constantly sick with super crazy medical issues, or something as simple as, you know, getting a URI, but you gotta be prepared for that. Or if you have a pig, in my case, where they were showing signs of an illness, you take them to the vet, get them checked out, everything's fine, to still have that money to pay for the check that vet did. So yeah, just be prepared. You can never be like over prepared when owning these animals. I always love to have a separate savings account for, you know, your pigs, to obviously have money lined up for them in situations like this. But I will continue to always express to you guys that these animals are not easy. They are a lot of fun, do not get me wrong. They are honestly the best animals ever, but they come with lots and lots of work, and it's really important that you guys are able to deal with that and take it on. But yeah, I'm on my way to the vet. I'll be there in like 2 minutes. I'll get my babies. I love picking them up because I'm like, you belong home, you don't belong at the vet. So I'm sure they're ready to be home anyways, but yeah, let's go get them. Alrighty, my babies. They're all done. You did very good. Okay. I feel so relieved that my babies are all healthy. Obviously, I still got the medication and stuff. She did let me know that if the pigs' appetite was like changing, they weren't eating enough, I could go ahead and get them some Cisapride, obviously prescribed by them. Everyone's doing so good. I love it. Nothing beats having some healthy pigs, honestly. Can never be too sure when it comes to having symptoms of anything going on. Just get them checked out, not only for them, but also for you and peace of mind. So I'm glad to know that it was well worth it. Also because they are now up to date on their wellness checks and they're good to go. Alrighty, let's go home. Good morning, you guys. It's actually 2 days since I last talked with you, so I wanted to give you guys some updates and show off the piggies. As you can tell, they're all munching down on their pellets. Here's the herd over here. Wanda constantly has her feet inside of the pellet dish. She loves to eat that way. I have no idea why. I gave Billy and Ollie a full cage clean yesterday, so that's why they're looking relatively clean. There's Mr. Ollie just snacking on his pellets as per usual. He's so freaking cute. And then our main focus, I guess, of this vlog is Mr. Billy. As you guys know, went ahead and got him checked out at the vet for a potential URI. Nothing came back, but he is doing super amazing. He is on antibiotics, same with Jojo right over here, but they're both taking it super well. I was honestly surprised, just given that I've never given him antibiotics before. I wasn't sure how he was going to take it, but he's actually a trooper, so I'm happy about that. It's the best thing ever when you have a pig that takes antibiotics super easy. So I got lucky with him being super easy to work with. Jojo, on the other hand, he is kind of a fighter, and he makes honestly the weirdest face after I give him his medicine. It's so funny. It's like as if I gave him like a warhead candy and it's like super sour, but has to be done. I did also just want to mention that when it comes to guinea pigs on medicine or antibiotics, it's really, really important that you're monitoring their eating habits. So antibiotics can actually have an effect on a guinea pig system, specifically their hunger and their motivation to eat. And obviously, as we know, food is the most important thing ever to make sure a guinea pig system is, you know, constantly running. That's why you have hay for them 24/7. Making sure that when your guinea pig is on medicine or antibiotics or whatever the case may be, please make sure that they are eating a good amount. My vet did tell me that if I notice a change in their appetite, I could go ahead and get them prescribed some Cisapride, which is actually an appetite restore. I did actually have to do like 3 doses a day for Vision after his neuter, just because he was not eating like as much as I would have liked. And after having upped his dosage of Cisapride to 3 times a day, little man was back to normal, so it did wonders. But everything looks pretty fine for the last 3 days, so I'm hopeful that they're gonna just remain as is. What are you doing, Billy? Are you just being a funny boy? Oh, you wanna come say hi? He loves pushing that thing. I never put it up against here just because I'll knock it off constantly, so that's why it's kind of like in the middle of the cage. He likes having space around here and like doing popcorns and running around, so that's why I keep it like that. For those of you who are also wondering, I got that little stool right there from Ross. It's actually a step stool made for, you know, humans, but it has 4 exits, and I was like, oh my god, this could be like the perfect little like hidey house or tunnel for my piggies. And it's honestly Billy's favorite. He loves that thing so much. Probably like a mound of poops already in there from last night. He just never leaves that thing. But yeah, if you guys are looking for like a little DIY little hidey house, that's a good call. And then obviously I wanted to quickly mention, just because, you know, the pig room is my business, but this is my new product called the Pigloos. Very, very similar to the Cozy Caves, but they're a lot wider this way. So your biggest piggy can honestly fit in there, like without a doubt. It is looking fairly small just because I do have Ollie's heating pack inside of there with the pig mat on top of it. So it looks a little bit like tiny, but I promise you guys it's like that big. So it will surely fit your biggest piggy. Guys, Ollie has not left the Pigloo unless it comes to eating, but like overall, he never leaves that thing. It's his favorite hidey house ever. When it comes to making things like this, I need his approval, and just knowing that little man does not leave that thing, that's a good sign for me. But these will be launching very soon. I do have a launch coming up, or like a restock, I guess you could say, soon. So I'll have jumbo piggy bunk beds, I'll have jumbo pee pads, I'll have squish tunnels, bubble tunnels, and also our new product Pigloos. So it's actually going to be a fairly big launch, and I may also have the Teddy and Ashton stickers coming out as well. So get excited for that. If you guys aren't already, go ahead and subscribe to our newsletter on our website to be notified when that launch day is happening, or go ahead and follow us on Instagram because I'm constantly on there updating. Hi, Caroline. Oh, Caroline's itching away. Missy. Oh. Just a shot of her butt. Wanda loves this water bottle so much. Like, she literally will not drink from any other one but this. I don't know what it is about it, but it's her favorite one, as you can tell. She like empties it. It's already getting empty. I need to fill it already. She's so cute. Her like little swirls, there's a proper name for it. Rosettes? That could be totally wrong. I forget what they're called. But these little swirly bits on her back are honestly my favorite. They're like so unique and cool, and she's got like, it's like perfectly even. It looks like a V, which is even more further proof that she should be long with Vision. But obviously you guys know it did not work out. She is so freaking cute. Like, just imagine her and Vision together. Oh my god, that would have been like a perfect pair. And then here we have Ashton's cage. He actually ended up spilling his pellets right over there. I wanted to let you guys know that I actually went to the thrift store a couple days ago and picked up this fleece. If you guys are ever in need of fleece and aren't running on like a super high budget, not saying that like fleece is super expensive, but you can find this for super cheap at thrift stores. And you can sometimes also come across super fun patterns. This one, when I saw it, I was like, oh my god, this is like made for me, because I love green, probably one of my most favorite colors, but also the fact that it has like different shades, and then also this cream color, which I really do like, worked out amazing. using. And then I just so happen to have this squish tunnel right here, which I first made, and it matches the fleece literally perfect. Then paired with this green bath mat as well, green pee pad on top of the house. He sometimes likes going up there, not all the time. He mainly just stays in the Jumbo Piggy bunk bed. Yeah, I love when his cage, even the hay matches, but I love when the cage looks like super cohesive. It brings me joy, honestly. It's just like a really pretty visual thing to see, I guess you could say. I did actually have some time and I made this liner right here. It's a 3x4. Typically that's what I do, and the rest I just cover with bath mats, but this one is so freaking adorable, and I just paired it with the yellow on the opposite side. Again, they had a full cage clean yesterday, so that's why it's looking relatively clean, besides this right here. The runner pads right over there. I love these because they can go in front of litter boxes and you can just pick them up, dump it out, and then replace, and it kind of just keeps the mess kind of contained. But yeah, I've been getting more into like making myself stuff, which is really good, just because I've been literally working off of like products I made months and months and months ago, or even years ago. So it's just nice to finally have some new stuff for my piggies. And I'm definitely, yeah, gonna keep doing this because I like new stuff. And the stuff that I do have is kind of outdated in regards to like patterns and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm just really glad that I have something new for them. And also, you guys saw this, but these are my new liners as well. Two 2x4s in the Sleeping Sea pattern. And then these ones are paired with the light gray on the underside. Look how gross that chloroplast was. Ooh, I cannot wait to do this cage renovation. I don't think I actually talked about it in a vlog yet, but I'm going to be doing a whole cage renovation, like not only for this cage but also for this cage. It's going to be incredible. I'm super excited. But if you guys don't know, I'm actually going to be raising this entire cage by one grid, but also that's going to be after we bond Winston with the herd, and then after we do Ollie and Billy with each other, if they work out, and also if Winston works out with them. But yeah, everyone's going to get not an upgrade, but just an upgrade to myself to kind of make my life easier in regards to like cleaning and stuff like that. I don't mind the floor cages. They work out really well when having so many piggies but limited space. But just being able to raise them off the floor by a grid and having them on this level, so that's where the ground will start, and just being at more of like, what is that? Like shin level, I guess you could say. It's just gonna work out so much better for me just to be able to interact with them and clean them and all that kind of stuff. Everyone's going to be moved up by one grid. So where their floor currently is, their floor is going to start right here. So they're going to basically be, it works out perfect because my ceiling kind of like starts angling at about a foot. So I can definitely add another grid here, but it's just gonna make it so much easier to like have them literally be right at hip level. I can just reach in, clean them, interact with them. It's just gonna be so much better. I'm super excited. I did end up going ahead and placing an order on Amazon for 3 boxes of grids. Hoping that's enough. I did the math and I need about, I believe it was like 80 something, 90 something grids. And I believe I get like 102 with the boxes that I ordered. So hopefully it's enough. If anything, I do have some extras in my closet, but it should be enough to get the job done. But expect to see some cool renovations going down in the pig room. With the new year, I've been really wanting to make this space feel even better, so I think now is honestly the time to do so. I will obviously film that for you guys so you can see it all go down. I know you guys tend to enjoy cage renovation videos, so I'm just super excited to do this one. I've not done a renovation in literally so long, but I've really been wanting to do one, so I'm just super excited to get to this. And all the piggies are gonna get new chloroplast. I'm gonna get the chew guards to go along them to make it feel more complete, new litter boxes, probably new like hidey houses and stuff like that. Like the pigs are getting spoiled this year. I am so freaking ready. So I actually had 42 boxes delivered this morning to my studio of Piggy bunk beds. I actually totaled the amount of like weight of those packages, 750 pounds of bunk beds. Insane. As you guys know, I am releasing 3 new custom colors, yellow, baby blue, and lilac very soon. It's actually going to be here for the next launch, so I'm super excited, but I gotta go ahead and head to the studio and get to work of actually like putting them in my studio, unloading them, quality checking, like everything. But yeah, it's gonna be a long day. I probably won't be back for a little bit, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get my day started and I will talk with you guys in a bit. Alrighty guys, so I'm now back home. I spent about 2 or 3 hours at the studio with Andy. We ended up unpacking, not all the boxes because there was 42, so many, but we ended up unpacking as much as we could of inventory to put on our shelves, and it looks so freaking good. Finally, we have inventory back in stock and things are also on their way as well this week. So launch is happening, launch is soon, so I'm super excited. But I just got home to a package on my doorstep and we have more grids. So I'm going to be redoing their cage right here, Kai and Winston's, and Leon and Styles. So as I explained earlier, I'm going to be raising the pigs' cages up by 1 grid, so actually making a base out of grids itself, and just raising up everyone by 1 grid. That way it's easier to access the top cages and then also to clean these ones down here. Just being that they're on the ground and now lifted up, that makes my life a lot easier. I don't mind the ground cages. Again, like, they're awesome if you have like limited space with so many piggies, but just being able to lift them up by 1 grid, I feel like overall just looks better, and also they can get a little bit more of a view, I guess you could say. But yeah, I just want to do it just because it would make my life easier with having them above ground. I do have a method that I want to go ahead and try out, and hopefully it works. I'm thinking that it should. I hope. Just to let you guys know as well, these are the 12-inch grids by CNA Home off Amazon. They do have a version of the 14-inch ones, but these are the 12-inch ones. That's what I use. So what you see here, a 3x7, is true to the size. So it's 3 feet by 7 feet. So it's a great size cage they have. I actually do really like it. They live in a 3x3.5. It's perfect for these boys because they're pretty active. And then for them, they could use a little bit more space because they sometimes bicker a little bit, but for the most part, they get along really well. They never fight that much as they like run away from each other. But yeah, this is a great size cage for them. I could extend it by 1 more, but I do like having storage with the trash bins and stuff like that in my bedding, so I probably will just keep it as this. Plus I don't have to cut more chloroplast, which is not the best thing to do. It's not the most fun, so I'd like to avoid that if I can, so we'll just keep them as is in their size cages. I did also want to quickly mention that zip ties are your absolute best friend when it comes to doing stack cages. This is not all of them. I just wanted to show you guys just a little bit that I had for reference. I do actually have bigger ones which are inside of my room, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab these. These are just the small ones that I have, but you have to make sure that you're zip tying like literally every single like connection of each grid to each other, just because accidents do happen, and the little connector pieces that you see here that are actually holding the grids together are not strong enough, especially when it comes to like doing these stacked situations. So yes, make sure you use zip ties. I did get these from like a variety pack which came with a bunch of sizes, so I'll use the bigger ones for the base, but yeah, zip ties are a must. I do have to take out the pigs, so what I'm gonna do is have Winston free roam and then put Kai in my carrier, which is up there, and then these boys can actually stay here because I'm not deconstructing any of this. I'm just kind of adding to it. I'm not gonna film the whole entire process, but I will be updating you guys throughout the process of me actually doing it, just to kind of explain to you guys what's happening and then show off the final cage. Hopefully it comes out good. Hopefully I like it. I think I will. I think I definitely will. But yeah, let's get to building. All right, so I just went ahead and took out all of the piggies' items. There's Mr. Winston. So their cage is completely empty. I also took down the divider that was dividing their 2 cages, which is right here behind me, and their Christmas lights. So what I gotta do right now is actually remove this right here, so that'll give me access to actually taking out this chloroplast base, and then I'm gonna start building basically like the stand that it's gonna be on, and then start building the floor right on this level. It is madness in here right now. It just, oh my goodness. So much stuff going on. Leon's in there, Styles is in there, Kai is in there, and Winston's right there. But I am now just moving on to actually creating the base for Leon and Styles' cage. So I'm just going to fill this in with grids, put the floor on top, and then that way I can remove these grids right here so I can actually have space for Winston and Kai's. This is honestly a process that I thought was going to be a little bit easier, but it's turning out not to be. So I'm just gonna go ahead and focus on this, get to more work, and I'll update you guys in a bit.
You will grow up in the blink of an eye and move out and be on your own. But no matter what comes your way, I will stay right here beside you to catch you if you fall. And deep and abiding, like
progress is being had. I just put in one of the support beams. I have 2 more to do on both the left and right side. But Kai and Winston's chloroplast is in. Whew, guys, I'm already sweating. But this is such a cool thing already, just having the pigs literally be at my hip level. I love it. It's so good. It's gonna make cleaning a lot easier and also interacting with them, and also with the piggies on the bottom. I have plenty of storage underneath now. Everything is going super good, super smooth and amazing. I was actually able to keep this all together, as you guys could see from that clip, and just basically put them all in one by one. So I didn't have to cut any of the zip ties, which is awesome because that saved me a bunch of time, and also zip ties as well. Again, just have to add these 2 more support beams because it's a little bit bouncy. Whenever it comes to doing 3 grid wide cages, you have to use not only zip ties, but also these, because if you see, without it, it's just too bouncy. But with this, it just allows it to be a lot more structured. As soon as I put the 2 other ones, it's gonna be super sturdy. So let's go ahead and do that and start finishing this up. There's actually not much more to do other than like decorate it all and then put in a divider. So I think the next clip, I'll show you guys the cage all done or something.
I can hear it in your voice, though you haven't said that much. Through an empty bottle, I can see it all so clear. All these broken pieces will be scattered in the wind.
Alrighty everyone, the cage, as you can see, is now all complete. As you can see, I have the stand underneath, so everyone has been lifted up by 1 foot. Look how good it looks from back here. It like honestly changes the whole space just to have the piggies all up like a little bit, so I can interact with them a lot easier, just clean them a lot easier. It's just so good. I'm so happy I did this. I did it by myself. It took me about 3-ish hours, and that included like obviously deconstructing everything, reconstructing everything, and then decorating the cages. So I would say a fair amount of time, but regardless of the time, I am so incredibly happy that this is done. So there was no more added space, obviously, just because I didn't want to go ahead and, you know, cut more chloroplast. I do really well in the 3x7, especially the 2 boys up here. So yeah, I didn't feel like I wanted to change that. But if I do find that I want to in the future, I obviously can, and that would be like a super simple change, just adding on a few more grids this way. But let me go ahead and give you guys a tour. So starting down here, here is where the main, you know, magic happened with lifting all the cages up off the floor. As you can see, it's very stained, so I have to go ahead and get my Hoover to kind of get that pee up, but that's just a result of having the piggies on the floor. And now I have all this space under here for storage and for toys and treats and honestly, whatever I can think of, or like fleece, it's just gonna be so much easier for organization. And then moving up here, we have Kai's cage. Everyone got a full cage clean, so he's just munching down on his hay. He's got his willow tunnel, his fiddlestick tunnel, his Palchi house, some toys, and also some bath mats on a fleece liner. So he is enjoying himself. And then we got our crazy boy Winston over here on this adorable elephant fleece. I'm actually noticing, at least for the time being, he's not jumping out. May be a result of him having free roam time while I was doing this, so he's kind of like worked off his steam. So I'm gonna monitor him and see what he does, but honestly, for how crazy he is, I might just put up the grids, honestly, for both of them, because God forbid they were both to escape. That would not be a good situation, so I'm gonna probably just put up the grids like after I get done filming this, just to make sure he does not escape, because I definitely know he would. But here is Winston's cage right here. They're still living in the same size cage, 3x3.5, plenty big for them. Oh, he just laid down right there to take a nap. So cute. He's got his wooden house with his bridge, which has a bath mat on top to make it super cozy. His pellet dish, a toy, hay rack, water bottle. I actually have to refill that very soon. And pig mat underneath the hay rack. So those are the boys' cages down below. And then if we move right on up, right to hip level, we have Leon and Mr. Styles' new cage. I just went ahead and cleaned out their litter box so it's all nice and fresh with some good hay. Leon's like all dirty. He's like all speckles of hay because he was just burrowing. But here's their little kitchen area. We have a water bottle. I just went ahead and gave them some new toys. So I gave him a willow twist. The other one is right there, a cupcake, and then what's left of the willow ball. We've got their fiddlestick tunnel. Mr. Styles is just sleeping in his jumbo piggy bunk bed. We've also got our gray bubble tunnel and then our wooden house on top of a bath mat on this like very pretty 70s fleece right here. I got this from the thrift store actually. So freaking cute. But here is their cage right here. I feel like the piggies are honestly gonna love this so much more. For the most part, my pigs are pretty friendly. Like they'll come up to me, but I feel like just having them, you know, at eye level or more of eye level, I should say, compared to like how they are, this is really gonna help them to open up. I feel like, I just feel like it's a lot less intimidating when you're not towering over a pig. I feel like just being able to interact with them like eye to eye is a much better situation. So I feel like our bonds will get closer, which I'm really excited for. But yeah, this is the new cage. I hope you guys enjoyed that little renovation that went down. We do still have to do this cage over here, which I can say I'm looking forward to, obviously, but the amount of work that's going to be involved with getting this all done and lifted off the ground, gonna be a lot, like so much. If I had a hard time like kind of figuring out where these piggies went while I was doing this, I'm gonna have a very hard time figuring out where all of these pigs are gonna go, but I will get it done, and that will be a video in itself, so get excited for that. Yeah, that is the newest upgrade to the pig room. Well, I should say maybe like part 1, but I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe for more videos every single week. And until then, I hope you and your piggies are happy, safe, and healthy. Bye, guys.